Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Frames, and welcome back to the Frames Double Feature Hour. I know it's been a little while. I know I took a brief hiatus, but I'm back, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I'm feeling good about this one. I hope you guys are feeling good. It's been a little while. I needed a little bit of time away, and I took it. But I'm ready to come back. I got some big stuff in the works, and the first thing that I wanted to come back with, I thought it was only appropriate to resume with another Double Feature Hour. So here I am, making my return, and the topic of this video is, this double feature is about buddies on the run. That's the topic. I couldn't think of like a better title to kind of give this thing. It's when there's two friends and they have to go. You'll see. Let's dive into it. First movie that we're going to be talking about in this double feature is Some Like It Hot, released in 1959, and goddamn, what an all-time great movie. It's a movie about two male musicians in Chicago in 1929 that end up in some trouble with a criminal gang, and they have to go on the run, and they pretend to be women to do so. Okay, things that I like. Jack Lemmon, for one. I think Jack Lemmon is maybe my favorite comedic actor of all time. He always gives an incredible performance. He's just 100%, just always on. And it's fantastic. He's in this, he's in The Odd Couple, he's in The Apartment. He's a fantastic actor. He always gives a hilarious performance. And this is no exception. He's flamboyant, and he's iconic. We love him in this. I personally don't think Tony Curtis is quite the standout as Jack Lemmon is in this, but he gives a fantastic performance as well, as the more masculine half of the two that gets angry and threatens to beat him up sometimes. Marilyn Monroe, always a delight, gives some pretty fantastic musical performances in this thing.
Always showing I don't care, don't love nobody.
And just so we're clear, this is a pretty silly movie, you know? It's a movie with a lot of hijinks. But what I really like is that it strikes a really nice balance with its threats, with its antagonist. Because the mob that's shown in this movie is just as threatening and feels just as real and dangerous as they would in like a mafia movie that came out around the same time. They don't fuck around with the mafia. They don't make it like a silly comedy mafia. They make them like real mafia guys, and that gives them like a genuine power and presence. This movie was directed, of course, by the great Billy Wilder. Billy Wilder actually directed The Lost Weekend, which is the first movie that I ever talked about on this channel, so go check that out if you haven't seen that yet. But I really admire Billy Wilder's range. In The Lost Weekend, he explores darker subject matter with this addiction and alcoholism plot. The Apartment is a really sweet and earnest love story, and this movie is just fun, and it's just really funny too. But oh my god, dude, scenes like this where you watch the duo running away from the genuine threat of the mafia, and Jack Lemmon is just giving it his all, and Tony Curtis is giving it his all. It's just too powerful for me to express in coherent thought how much I love it and how much joy it brings me. It's hard to deny the fact that some of this humor has probably not aged very well, because back in 1959, a lot of the humor from this movie, I think, kind of came from the novelty of like, oh, isn't it silly to see these men dressing up as women? And maybe that's even what Billy Wilder was going for with this movie. But for this kind of concept being executed in 1959, I think you'd be pretty surprised at how maturely it handles a lot of this stuff. Perhaps as a straight guy, I'm not the best person to be commenting on this, but I really didn't feel like this movie was going for any of the low-hanging fruit that you might expect it to. And it, of course, ends with an iconic line from our bisexual king, Osgood.
I'm a man! Well, nobody's perfect.
Next up, the second half of this Buddies on the Run double feature is Pineapple Express, written by Seth Rogen and directed by David Gordon Green, released in 2008. This movie, I think, is in like my top 3 comedies of all time. It was Seth Rogen's follow-up to Superbad, and hot take, but I think it's better. It follows process server Dale Denton, played by Seth Rogen himself, going about the daily grind, serving people their court subpoenas, smoking weed while he does it, and hanging out with his drug dealer, Saul Silver. Saul Silver is played by James Franco, and say what you will about James Franco in real life, certainly not a great dude, but god damn it, he gives a perfect performance as this guy.
Hands down, dopest dope I've ever smoked, right?
Not better than
They are a very different duo from Lemmon and Curtis in Some Like It Hot, but god damn it, they have such great chemistry, and they're so much fun, and they're so adorable together in this weird best buddies kind of way. Dale witnesses a murder, and then he has to go on the run with Saul to get away from them, just to save their own asses. And just like Some Like It Hot, this movie treats its threats and its danger with real intensity. They're really not funny bad guys, they're just bad guys. So this movie has like real blood and guts and gore and violence. And there's just so many hilarious interactions, so much great dialogue.
Buzz it in 3 seconds, exactly.
1, 2.
A cop! A lady and a guy!
A cop, a lady, and a guy, man, that's like a massacre.
Why do you ever don't get a gun? Why would he bear arms? Look, no!
The stakes are high, but it's also just a great movie to kind of hang out and watch. And I gotta say, this movie culminates in one of the most exciting third act fight scenes that I have ever seen in any movie. Not just a comedy, any movie. It's really incredible. It's a fantastic story about friendship and redemption. Do yourself a big favor and check it out. If you like the work of Seth Rogen, you'll be really into this, but even if you don't, give it a chance. That's gonna do it for this episode of the Frames Double Feature Hour. I don't want to promise you guys that I will be uploading consistently, but I can tell you that I do have some bigger stuff in the works, like I mentioned in the intro. Keep an eye out, stay tuned for that. Also, if you've stuck around at the end of this video, why don't you subscribe? You know, what the hell? Why not? Feels great to be back, and I'll see you guys when I see you.